Okay, welcome everybody to the live webinar here at BINA. It's Thursday, and in 2 days from now, of course, will be Shabbos, and it's a special Shabbos because it's the Shabbat Project, when the observance of Shabbos is being emphasized all around the city. So I thought what we will do today is just go through a number of things that we do every week on Shabbat. But a lot of us are doing it because that's what we've been taught when we were younger, that's what we did in our homes, and that's why we do it in our homes, and we don't really know the depth, the reason, the meaning behind all of what we do. And one of such things is the song Sholom Aleichem, which we sing on Friday night when we come home from shul. We come home from shul, we sing this beautiful song, Sholom Aleichem Malachei HaShores, which means peace upon you. It was the traditional way of greeting people. Angels, Malachei HaShores, the ministering angels of God, Mimelech Malchei Amlachim, from the King of all kings, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, blessed be He. We sing this song, 4 stanzas, each stanza 3 times. It's a beautiful song. But what exactly are we doing? Which angels are we welcoming? Why do we use the terminology that we do? Let's try and get a little bit into the depth of this beautiful moment which we experience every Friday night. So what's interesting is that the author of Sholom Aleichem is unknown. We don't actually know who authored this song. It seems to be actually not that old. It seems to be 500, 600 years old, around the same time that the formal Kabbalat Shabbat was formed. So it's not that old, but it is sung in virtually every single Jewish home on Friday night. What is the idea? So the Talmud in Tractate Shabbos tells us that on Friday night, when a person comes home from shul, they are accompanied by angels. And it is to those angels that we turn to and we sing the song, Sholom Aleichem, peace upon you, O angels. What's interesting, if you've noticed, if you pay attention to the way we address the angels and what we call them, there's a difference between the first paragraph and the last 3. The first paragraph is Sholom Aleichem Malachei HaShores, right? Sholom Aleichem Malachei HaShores. Shores means ministering angels. The next 3 paragraphs, we refer to them as Malachei HaSholem, the angels of peace. Why the change? Why in the first paragraph do we refer to them as Malachei HaShores, the ministering angels? And in the last 3 paragraphs, the next 3 paragraphs, we describe them as Malachei HaSholem, angels of peace. Why the change? And I always wondered this. And recently I saw a beautiful explanation as follows. When the angels come home, we're told that there are 2 angels. And not all of them actually come with good intentions. One of them is called a Malach Toiv, the good angel, and the other angel is called the Malach Ra, the opposite of good. The good angel comes with the intention to bless the home. The bad angel comes with the intention to bring the opposite of blessing. We are told in many sources that when they walk into the home and they see a beautiful Shabbos table with Shabbat candles set up beautifully with food, etc., honoring Shabbos properly, the good angel right away gets in and he blesses the home that so shall it be for the coming Shabbos, that it should always look like this. And it says that when the good angel does this, the bad angel, the evil angel, is forced to answer amen to that blessing, and he sort of is carried along with that blessing and blesses the family as well. So what comes out actually is when they walk into the home, they're not at peace. They're not at peace with each other. They're coming in with 2 very different intentions. Only once they've entered the home and they've seen the home and the good angel has already blessed the family, the home, then they're united, then they're at peace, then they're both there for the sake of blessing. And that's what's going on over there. When we say Shalom Aleichem, it means we're greeting them at the door, we're walking in with them. We cannot refer to them as angels of peace because they are not at peace with each other. One is evil, one is good. And therefore we just refer to them as Malachei HaShores, the ministering angels. But then once they've entered, Boyachem l'sholom, when they're already come in, They've already seen the home, they've already seen the beautiful table and the Shabbat candles, and they've already both blessed the home. Then we can refer to them as Malache HaSholom, the angels of peace, because now the two angels are at peace with each other. So that's a beautiful explanation why we refer to them in the first paragraph as Malache HaShares, and only afterwards we refer to them as Malache HaSholom. It's interesting if you look at this general idea, Malache HaSholom, angels of peace. Why is peace always associated with Shabbat? You know, on the festival we wish each other Chag Sameach, have a happy festival. How come on Shabbos we don't wish each other Shabbat Sameach? Why don't we wish each other Shabbat Shalom? Have a peaceful Shabbos. Why the blessing of peace? Why is that uniquely connected to Shabbat, the concept of peace? So the idea of peace, when we say we're making peace between two things, what we mean is that these two things are, or originally were in conflict, and now we're making peace between the two. If two things were always united, you don't need peace. They're just together. You don't need to make peace between them. If we look around in the world around us, we can find a common denominator, a commonality between everything that exists in this physical world. The common denominator is that they're all physical. Everything has the same definition in that they are a physical being. A human being and a stone. Although a human being seems to be infinitely greater than a stone, but they're both physical. They are both physical beings, and that's the commonality between them. The greatest conflict, the two entities which are the most opposite, is the spiritual and the physical. Physicality, we can access it through our five senses of taste, smell, touching, hearing, and seeing. Spirituality, we cannot use any of those five senses to reach spirituality. We use our minds, we use our hearts. They're totally different. They're totally different entities, totally different realms of existence. They are in total conflict, in fact. If somebody wants to be spiritual, it can't be overly indulged in physical things because physicality and spirituality are inherently in conflict. However, once a week, these two realities come together. Once a week, there is real peace in the world where the spiritual world and the physical world are at peace. We eat, it's a mitzvah. On Shabbos, when we sit down to a meal, it's not a regular meal. On Shabbos, when we eat, even when we sleep, when we indulge in physical pleasures, those pleasures actually become holy. Those pleasures are a mitzvah. And therefore, there's this merging of two realities, of two opposite realities. And that's why Shabbos is the concept of peace, which is why we wish each other Shabbat Shalom, have a peaceful Shabbos, because these two entities are coming at peace. Because the truth is that ultimately, these two realities will fully merge together with the coming of Mashiach. But as we mentioned on Monday, Shabbos is a taste of Mashiach. It's a mini Mashiach. It's a weekly mini Mashiach on a weekly basis. That's why we also refer to the angels as Malache HaSholom, the angels of peace. Then there's another very interesting thing. And this always fascinated me. We say Sholom Aleichem, we welcome in the angels, we say come in, we say bless us, and then we say goodbye. The last paragraph, if you look at the English, Tseschem l'sholom means may your departure be in peace. That's a little bit rude. You invite them in, and 3 seconds later you're telling them to go goodbye. Why don't you tell them to stay a little longer? Why are we sending them away so fast? So there are many explanations to this. I'll just mention two. Number one, angels can't eat. We know this when the angels visited Abraham, which is actually next week's Torah portion. Abraham served them milk and meat. And the question always is, how can he serve them milk and meat together? So there are various answers to this. One of the answers is, the angels don't eat. They pretended that they ate, but they didn't really eat. It's not manners. It's not proper manners to sit in front of somebody who can't eat and eat. So we send away the angels before the meal out of respect that we're going to sit down and eat, but they can't eat. So we send them away before we start eating. That's an interesting answer, probably less to do with the angels, more to do with us, more to instill within us that sensitivity. But there's a much deeper answer here. We're told that in general, we're always surrounded by angels, both in the week and during the day, and on Shabbat, excuse me. During the week, however, it's different angels. They're weekday angels. They're more mundane. On Shabbos, we're given holier angels to accompany us. That is what's happening over here. When we come home from shul on Friday night, we say Sholom Aleichem, we welcome the Shabbos angels, and we bid farewell, Tseichem l'Shalom, to the weekday angels. The Sfas Emes, the Holy Sfas Emes asks, if that's the case, we should reverse the order. We should first say Tseichem l'Shalom, goodbye to the weekday angels, and then say hello to the Shabbos angels, and welcome in the Shabbos angels. And the answer is a fascinating thing. He says, God does not want us to be a moment without this protection, without this atmosphere of holiness that the angels provide. And therefore, if we were to say goodbye to the weekday angels first and only then welcome in the Shabbos angels, there would be a moment in time where we'd be without angels altogether. And therefore, what we do is, while the weekday angels are still present, we invite the Shabbos angels in, and there's an overlap, and only then do we bid farewell to the weekday angels, so there isn't even a moment where we are not enveloped in this holy atmosphere. So this week, when you sing Sholom Aleichem, hopefully we have provided a little bit of more meaning to it. Know that we're welcoming angels, know that we're bidding farewell to the weekday angels and welcoming the Shabbos angels. And let us fully envelop ourselves in this atmosphere of holiness of Shabbat. Have a wonderful day and Shabbat Shalom.